Hola, buenos dias, good morning, continuous liners. It's Megan here on the streets of La Ciudad de Mexico con mi beef jerky and con mi latte. And I'm just, I found my place, a little place here. There's a big shuffleera plant right in front of me, so I'm sort of nestled in with the plant. I'm having a little beef jerky so I can have my coffee, because I'm doing the glucose goddess. Vegetables first, then meat, then carbohydrates. I don't think coffee is carbohydrates, but anyways, I'm not putting sugar in my coffee anymore, and that's a huge step in the right direction. All right, it's Tuesday, June 13th, and I'm out here to do some. I tried to check in with you guys yesterday, and I was having technical difficulties, so I had to give up. So apologies for not being here yesterday. But I'm here today in Condesa at Boycott Cafe with my continuous line warm-up book. You know, and it's also kind of my scribbly, scrabbly thought book. You know, I have ideas that I explore in here. There's my little Tlaloc. I'm doing a whole series of larger illustrative drawings, but they're paintings. Larger illustrative, continuous line drawing paintings. How about that? All right. So, if you're there with me, if you're watching this, first of all, muy buenos dias. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. So we're right here in Condesa. I'm about 2 blocks away from my house. I feel like the farther away I go from my house, the more chance there is of technical difficulties. So I'm keeping it kind of close to home today just to see how it went, right? So, yeah, here it is, June 13th. And, you know, without even saying what's on the news, we all know what's on the news right now. And it's a little riveting, right? Because it's like, it's riveting. And the audacity of it all, right? The sheer audacity. Hello. Big white fluffy dog. Can you see him? He just came up to say hello to me. And so now more than ever, I say now more than ever. I feel like the past several years have been now more than ever of things. You got to really take care of yourself. You got to really do whatever you can to stay grounded, right? Because this is kind of, if you're an American, this is very new territory for America, right? Just the idea that a former president, you know, could be jailed, has stolen things. You know, we've not had that before. We've heard of other countries that have had that sort of tomfoolery. But we've not had to deal with that ourselves as Americans, right? You know, honestly, it kind of feels like it's time for us to sort of have some consequence for our audacity. Anyways, so it's going to be stressful. It's going to be stressful. And so, like the news always is. So it's just really important to do the things that that help keep you grounded, right? And for me, that's drawing, right? So I'm going to just start doing some drawing here. Drawing to keep yourselves grounded. And it's a dual purpose of it helps strengthen your lines. It helps you be a stronger drawer. I have to pause for coffee. Sorry, that's how it goes. That is a law. There's no law about stopping and picking up your pen, but there is a law saying you can drink your coffee or whatever your drink choice is. You can pause for coffee or to pet a dog or to wave to someone, whatever, right? Because life still goes on even if you're drawing pictures. And, you know, sometimes just drawing pictures can save your life, right? Like, do I say that kind of, do I say that, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean that seriously, in that just having a drawing practice can just be a really nice calming agent, can be just a nice way to spend some time if you have some free time, if you have some, you know, idle hands is the devil's workshop, as they say. And, you know, even though we don't really find our hands too idle these days, like with all of their screens and our phones and social media, and just everything's a click, click, click away, right? Like if I'm bored at home, I just pick up my phone and just start, what's going on? I don't really get bored too much because I really try to keep, I do keep myself pretty occupied with my work. But, you know, I don't think there's a day that goes by that I'm not like clickety click and falling into that hole of like what's going on out there, right? I'm also doing marketing for my business here, my art business, and I'm also doing business for marketing for Cañada de la Virgen. So, you know, that involves, I need to be online. I'm not trying to justify it, but, you know, for like an hour and a half of doom scrolling. Oh, it's my job. I'm allowed to do this. Well, maybe so, but still, it's no excuse for endless doom scrolling, right? So I always try to get back to just trying to stay engaged with my art. I've done some large format, did I already say that? Large format pieces, and I'm really having fun with it. First of all, I have a little apartment, and so it's a whole different ballgame to deal with larger drawings, larger paintings, and I'll have you know, on really good paper too, because when the pandemic hit and I was in San Miguel, I forget which art shop it was, but anyways, I got some really top, like 100% cotton watercolor paper, and which I've just been lugging around with me for 3 years or whatever, all wrapped up, nice and beautiful and protected. And it was when I got the easel. I got the easel from my friend Paula, who's no longer here in Mexico City. But this easel has changed my life. And so with the easel, the addition of an easel in my life, I was like, you know what, I'm going to start doing some bigger pieces. And I also, you know, I've gotten to meet, I've met some local artists, right? Some Mexican artists. And so I've been to some art events, and I'm just, you know, I think I'm ready for that game. I'm ready for that arena. I have a lot to learn, and there's still, you know, I'm never going to be done with this stuff, but I'm excited to figure out a way to have my art piece sellable. And I don't mean like selling out sellable. I mean, I have stacks and stacks and stacks of personal art in my closet or under my desk, whatever. I know how to make art that makes me happy. I know how to make art that makes me happy, right? But I'm in a different era of my life, right? And the art that makes me happy was kind of like my training ground, right? Like these are the things I like, the urban sketching thing, right? That's what I like. Well, I'm now in a phase of developing myself beyond the urban sketching phase of my life, which was a good phase, right? Very, very great way, awesome way to like learn how to draw, right? Draw the world around you. Meet other people who are trying to draw who are drawing the world around them, right? It's a good community. To meet other artists who are like drawing their world, right? And so, but now it's a new era for me. My workshops, you know, things change with my workshops, and so I've got a few more on the calendar, but those are on the back burner now. And so I'm doing the online thing, but I also want to do my art, right? So that's where I wanted to find something that was sellable, because I actually had an appointment with a gallery here in Mexico City, and in hindsight, I'm a little embarrassed because I was not ready for that. It would be a very different appointment if I were to have it now. And so I've used that embarrassment. I don't know, is embarrassment the right word? I was naive, right? And at my age, it was silly to be that naive. But I really just thought my cute little drawings would be, you know, good enough. And they're good for me. But anyways, so like taking my art next level to where it is marketable, right? And I don't want to sell out. I still want to do my thing. I like my style. I like my personality of my drawings, of my art. I guess I like my personality too, right? So I am excited to do more larger pieces and figure out ways where I can get it. You know, what's this quote I heard? Nobody's sitting around waiting to buy your art, right? Like, it's not selling art right now, especially. I was talking to a friend of mine in the United States yesterday. She's in Wisconsin, and she's telling me about how much money her friends are spending on vacations and knickknacks for their house and just things that are kind of like unnecessary. And I was like, wait, what's all this talk about all this like out of control inflation? And she said, yeah, there's that, but that hasn't stopped these people from spending money on like wedding receptions and bridal showers and vacations, girls' trips, and knickknacks and stuff like that. Because my sister-in-law, who I was talking to, is trying to convince me to do portraits in a cornfield while I'm there. And you know what? I'm going to do it. Why not, right? It's something for my my arsenal. Yeah, I sat in a cornfield and did portraits of people. You mean you haven't? I mean, I'm in this phase right now where I want to say yes to everything except the negativity of the world of American politics, right? Like, I'm not playing that game except to say I hope he goes down swiftly. But I think it's all safe to say that the chaos and the noise of that drama is going to be playing out very loudly and very embarrassingly and very sadly. Is that the right word? Sadly. I mean, in this case it is, right? It's sad what's happening, right? It's sad. It's sad. The downfall of the illusion, the downfall of the illusion of grandeur, right? Anyways, so I just, at this point, I'm going to do whatever I can to stay afloat and to stay sane, right? Because, like, if you want to stay afloat, that's fine. But if you're not sane, or if you're not, I don't even mean like productive, like making money, like an American, you got to make money. I mean, you do have to make money because how else can you pay the rent or whatever, right? You got to do what you got to do to stay afloat, right? So I guess it's a fine balance of like wanting to keep my head above water, wanting to do the things I love, right? Like if I were to be living in the United States, I don't think I would be able to be an artist, right? Because the cost of living there is just off the charts. But I have been building a business, an art business, right? I thought I was headed this way with it. I thought I was doing, workshops and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's off the table, but it changed. It changed drastically. And it was something that I just knew I had to prepare myself. Like, if you want to choose to be in a business that's about small group travel for artists, not even necessary. It's not like we were out saving babies. We're just saving our sanity by drawing, right? In this day and age of travel where everything is like the cancellations, the changes, the cost, right? Like group travel, group international travel to do art events. I was like, Megan, this is like high risk. COVID, people getting sick. I don't even know if just getting sick with COVID, just getting sick in general when you're traveling, right? That happens. So, for now, I'm going to kind of put the workshop. I'm not going to focus on that so much. I've got an art retreat in Guanajuato, and I want to keep with that. I might add one more Urban Sketch Mexico City. I don't know. Never say never, right? But right now, it's not my focus. I'm going to go paint portraits in a cornfield in Wisconsin. I am going to do live performance here in Mexico City of live paintings. I'm booked for July 2nd, and I'm going to do one of these repeating continuous line, like I did these big ones that I've done. And they're all like of Mexico City, not Mexico City specifically icons, right? I mean, they're Mexican icons too. The jaguar, Tlaloc, which is the Aztec god of rain, which we all need to be praying to these days. And ajolotes, which is the white magic salamander. Those are Mexican icons, but the Aztec is Mexico City. Azteca is Mexico City. This is where like all the pyramids are and stuff like that. The region for Aztec, right? And the Jaguar, I don't know, I feel like the Jaguar is Mexico City, but then people from other parts of Mexico would be like, no, the Jaguar is ours. But the Jaguars is all of Mexico, right? I love the Jaguar. I love the ajolote, and I love the tlaloc. And ironically, I have paper mache of these creatures in my house too that I made in my paper mache workshop. So these are creatures I've been following for a while. I've been learning about, I've been learning about all that I can during my time here in Mexico City, because there's a lot of talk of like folks that are coming here just for the cost of living, right? I get it. But so while I do live here and I'm an American living here, and there's some preconceived notions about who I am and what I'm doing here, I really am enjoying my time here of learning about Mexico history, Mexico City history, their mythology, their gods, their not so much their politics, because the politics in Mexico is very Trumpy, and I'm not interested in that. There's a lot of like democracy coming undone, and funny how that people often just call that Trumpism, right? And so yeah, America is leading the way in that sort of downfall. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but anyway, I do enjoy my time here in Mexico and learning about the things that I'm learning about. So, and I draw them. I draw the things that I'm interested in. So, here we go. Let's see. What am I doing today? I'm going to keep it kind of simple because I got to go do some things. Finish big with a heart. Finish big with a heart. Go easy on myself. Go easy on others, right? These are stressful days. There's a lot going on, right? There's a lot of uncertainty too, right? Like, is this going to be a violent week in America? Well, it's always violent, right? But is there going to be outbreaks? I don't know. I haven't even looked at the news for a while. All of Miami could be burning right now, right? I doubt it, but these are stressful times given the news and the climate, the weather, the lack of rain. I mean, I'm back working in farm stuff and just reading the outlook about all of the failed crops. I don't want to be all doomy and gloomy, but the outlook for farming is not good. Just there's so much drought and so much loss of crops, and that is going to be reflected in price, costs, and lack of food, right? But the costs mostly, right? That's another reason I'm sort of okay with backing out of workshops, right? Because these costs are going crazy. Travel and cost of living, right? It's very uncertain. So I'm going to continue with my online stuff. I've created the Continuous Line Lounge, and we'll be bringing in artists to interview. I got my first one lined up for last week of June. I'll tell you more about that later. All right, everyone. Hi, Amy, if that's you there. Finish big with a heart. Go easy on yourself. Go easy on others, right? Do your lines. Do whatever you can to stay grounded, to feel connected to a power greater than yourself, to feel connected to the ground, to the sky, and not get so connected to that noise that's just going to fill our lives. It's going to continue to fill our lives, right? Have a drawing habit. It'll make you feel better. Drink delicious coffee. Be a part of a community. Be true to yourself. Listen to your heart. Make art if that's what your heart wants. And come draw with me in the Continuous Line Storytelling Group. The fundamentals. All right, everyone, have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.